Welcome to the Reality Creation Podcast. I'm your host, Jackie Beam. Today's podcast episode is going to feature a clip from my Universal Law School course, and this is going to be a teaching on the Law of Reversibility. The Law of Reversibility is going to show you kind of a little bit more of a scientific explanation for how creating your reality works. And so usually I like to tell people before you listen to this one, maybe think about something that you want to create in your life, because this lesson is going to walk you through an exercise where you start to pull it in. So I hope you enjoy this lesson on the Law of Reversibility. So the Law of Reversibility tells us that if the cause can produce the effect, then the effect can produce the cause. I'll say this again. If the cause can produce the effect, then the effect can produce the cause. If an effect can be produced by the cause, then the cause can be produced by the effect. All transformations of force are reversible. So let's refresh. The law of cause and effect that we just talked about, that told us that action A creates the effect B. In a scientific world, the law of reversibility also tells us that if A creates B, then B can create A. So I'm going to give you guys some examples. It is a fact that heat can be used to generate electricity, right? And it is also a fact that electricity can be used to create heat. So this is science. This is not just a maybe thing. This is the law of reversibility in a nutshell, and it's an observable pattern in the universe. Another example is that wind can be converted into electricity, and in reverse, electricity can be used to create wind. So I'll bring in a human example of the law of reversibility. So having success can cause a feeling of confidence. So success can create confidence. And in reverse, a feeling of confidence can create having success. When I was young, my dad had been a successful athlete, and he coached a lot of successful athletes. And I used to hear him say, success creates confidence and confidence creates success. And that always stuck with me. You know, he wasn't a scholar by any means, but he understood the law of reversibility. If you didn't have one, the success or the confidence, you had to hop on to the other. You had to catch the train somewhere, right? So the way I see the law of reversibility in the manifesting world is that if the manifestation of something produces an energetic state, then that energetic state can produce the manifestation of something. It's reversible. If you want the energetic state, get the thing. If you can't get the thing, generate the effect of already having the thing. You hop on somewhere. So action and reaction are interconvertible. Neville Goddard talks about this a lot. He talks a lot about the law of reversibility in his writings. And he tells us that this law is of the utmost importance, because if you knew how you would feel if you were to realize your objective, then inversely, you would know what state would produce the realization of that objective. So the law of reversibility is an observable pattern that we see everywhere in the universe. And I can give examples for days, but just to restate the law, if the effect can be produced by the cause, so too can the cause be produced by the effect. Where we use the law of reversibility to consciously create our reality is if a physical fact, if a physical fact, something that is here or something that is happening and is a physical fact in this world, if something is here in the 3D world, if the physical fact can produce a psychological state, then in reverse, that psychological state can produce that physical fact. Okay, so again, if you're ever going to get lost in this course, this is where you might get lost, but don't worry, don't judge yourself. Like I said, this is technical. You can listen to it again and put me in slow motion, and you will get it. And when I was learning about this, it was in books. So I was reading it, and I could read it over and over and over again. And so I can understand why maybe listening and hearing this lesson might be a little harder to comprehend than someone who has access, which is why I keep repeating myself. Okay. So if you're trying to get something to show up in the 3D world, you can create that cause, A, by assuming the feeling you'd have, the effect, be if it already happened. So we do this in most of my courses, and it might feel a little bit familiar from the law of assumption. You can create the cause by already holding the energy of someone who's at the effect. By already holding the psychological and physiological state, the energy, the effect, where it's already happened, that effect will create the cause of that effect. So a quick example, just to really drill this in. Let's say I meet my soulmate, right? And this caused me to feel the psychological and emotional state of being deeply loved, right? So meeting the soulmate would cause the effect of feeling deeply loved. The law of reversibility tells us that by going in and embodying that feeling of being deeply loved, generating the effect, this can also create the soulmate in my 3D world. So if the presence of my soulmate can cause the feelings of deep love, then inversely, the feelings of deep love can also create the soulmate in your life. If the cause can create the effect, the effect can also create the cause. So these are the conditions under which prayers are answered. So if your realized prayer produces or causes in you a definite feeling or state of consciousness, then inversely, that particular feeling or state of consciousness must produce your realized prayer. Under the law of reversibility, if you knew how you would feel if you were to realize your prayer, this feeling itself can and will create the realized prayer. So let's play with this. All right, so I want you to think of something you'd like to create in your reality. Again, a lot of you said income goals. Some of you had fitness goals. Some of you had certain business achievements or milestones. So just think of something you'd like to create in your reality. Maybe you want to attract a partner or enter the next phase of a relationship. Maybe you want a child or you want to see an improvement in your child's situation. Think right now of that thing you want to create, something you would pray for. And I'm gonna. This is kind of how I pray. This is the way that I pray. So when this thing gets here, the presence of this thing in your life is going to create or cause an effect for you, right? So when this gets here, it's absolutely going to generate or cause a new state or a new feeling or a new comfort, a new world for you, right? So right now, I want you to imagine that this thing just appeared. All right. So you don't have to search your soul right now to let yourself receive it. Just notice that it's here. You don't have to react to it just yet. Just observe it. Okay. Let's just say it just showed up as a concrete fact or situation in your reality. This thing showing up, this realized prayer, is the cause, and its presence in your reality is now going to create an effect on you. So right now, you are going to let yourself experience the effect that you want this realized prayer to have on you. So if you're one of those people who has a hard time visualizing or receiving what you want, just go ahead and skip the process of letting yourself receive it, and just go into the effect that you want it to have. So the receiving's already done. You have it. It's yours. No need to wrestle with that anymore. What is the feeling it gives you when it's here? Just feel that. Feel the effect and let the law of reversibility take care of creating the cause. So let yourself now generate the reaction that is the effect of this thing being here. Let yourself generate the reaction that's the effect of this thing happening. Start to feel the psychological state that gets created as an effect of this cause. This is what you wanted all along, right? This was the whole reason you even prayed for the thing, or that you wanted the thing in the first place. The thing showing up is the cause, and the state you're in is now the effect. The answered prayer produced this effect. All right, so let yourself explore the effect. If you can, go ahead and generate even more of a reaction in your physical 3D body. Let the brain and the body sync up and share the euphoria of the effect that has been created by this thing. Let the brain and the body share in the feeling of the effect that has been created by this cause, by this fulfilled prayer being here. Let yourself even look around at all the other effects this is having, maybe ancillary effects in your life. How different does it feel to be in your body now that this is here? Maybe your home looks different or feels different. Notice the level of comfort that might change, right? So the effects in your life from this thing, this cause being here, are far reaching. Let yourself play in the effect. So breathe this reality in. This thing happened, the cause, and it generated an effect on you. Right now, you're just living in the effect. Okay, and it's important that you get your body involved, right? So when this is here, let your body feel what your body feels like. Okay. And the universal law of reversibility tells us, since this thing coming into your life generated this effect, so too does this effect create the thing coming into your life. It is you living in this effect right now that produces the cause of this effect. It's you living in the effect that manifests the thing that creates more of this effect or something better. So you hopped on somewhere. You didn't have the thing first, so you generated the effect first. So go ahead and soak all of this into every cell. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, just release, spreading this energy, spreading this effect around your whole body. Okay, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a bright light from above, and you're going to imagine and visualize a bright light from above, that source of energy, that universal energy coming down into your crown and starting to seal this energy in. Moving into your crown, moving into your third eye, sealing this energy in. This is you telling the universe, I'm sealing this in. Yes, I want this one. And feel it moving down into your throat and your heart, down your arms, into your solar plexus, moving down into your belly. Feel that light going down to your hips, into your legs, your knees, down into your calves and shins, down into your feet, and feel that light taking this whole reality that you are at the effect of, and go ahead and send it down, ground it down into the earth. Right? We want to experience this in 3D, and we are at the effect now. We are experiencing this effect in 3D. Like I said, you hopped on somewhere. You didn't have the thing first, so you generated the effect first. You're in, right? Now this effect must create the cause. The law of reversibility says so. So get ready for it. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast episode, this lesson on the law of reversibility. Feel free to listen to it as many times as you like to continue creating your reality and creating what you want to see in your life. And if you want to check out the rest of the universal laws that I taught in the first round of Universal Law School, you can go to highwattliving.com/law school. And this is the course where I help you to align your energy with how the universe is naturally operating. So it's a great one to check out, especially now since I'll be teaching a second round of even more universal laws coming up here next year. So go ahead and check that out, and I will see you in the next podcast episode.